Hey everybody, we are doing the eagle, so we need to make a sketch like this. So it's going to be a lot of the spline tool. Alright, so first things first is look at the book because it has images, but we're going to do it differently than the book. But have it available. File, New, Part. Make sure you're in inches over here. When you do insert an image, a sketch needs to be open, so front plane, sketch. Tools, not insert, because that would make too much sense. Sketch tools, sketch picture. We got a sketch open, we got the plane selected, and then we're going to select our image. You'll see here that's located already on the point of origin. And then over here on the properties tree is where we're going to adjust the size of the scale. So we're going to type in negative, I'm looking at the book, 1.825. Make sure that the aspect ratio is locked in, and this will be 3.6. So you can see here it's centered now on the point of origin above. So this is different than the book, but super important. We are going to exit out of the sketch, hit the green, and then click on this, rename tree item, eagle image, because you never, ever, ever want to sketch on your image. It's just messy, because this way we can sketch and then hide this as we need to. Super quick tutorial for splines. It's different than Illustrator. I'm going to do peaks and valleys just like Illustrator for anchor points, but everything is tangent. The anchors, the handles are all tangent, and you can't hit Alt and then make it independent of each other. So this is for the angle, and this is for the magnitude. And I broke it. Okay, there we go. So if you need to do sharp corners but curves, splines, what you do is you click and then you double click really quick. Click, double click, click, double click, and then escape. And then you can adjust the handles. Okay, so if you forget to double click, like I do because I didn't learn the double click thing until watching Solid Professor again yesterday, so almost 20 years of doing this the wrong way, then you just hit, you click, click, and then escape. So other tutorials, I'm going to be doing that. And then you click on the spline tool, click, click, escape. You get fast at it. Escape, and then I have a hotkey thing. So I right click, drag, and then I can do spline. But yeah, it's easier to do the double click. And then just go in and adjust handles. Okay, hope that helps. Everybody screw around with that a little bit before you start doing this. So if you look at the book, we've got closed shapes that we are making. We aren't going to do it like this. We're going to do an offset and then do a trim. And that offset has to be in a specific direction or it doesn't work, which I don't know why, but we're going to just be aware. And then we'll do this a specific way. Okay, so on our new sketch, we are going to do peaks and valleys. So click, click for the curve, double click, a quick double click. If you don't do the double clicks quick enough, you'll have a little tail, and that is bad. So I'll do that. Here's the tail. So you can't delete the endpoint. You have to delete this anchor point. So that's the only thing with the double click. All right, so then we'll go through and adjust handles. So this is my peak, this is my valley, double click. This is a little tricky, so just follow along. You want to make sure not to have things, all right, and then we're going to double click here. This pretty much straight line here. Oh, oops, okay, escape, spline, because we need this to be all open. Escape, I forgot to double click again. And we'll fix this after. Okay, double click. There we go. And then bam, bam, bam. So now I've got sketch contours on. Also learned from Solid Professor. Had not known about that for 20 years. Ugly times. So we can see it's closed, and that looks good enough for this phase, which is tidying up. So we're gonna make sure nothing is overlapped on these sketches, because then your extrude won't work and you'll be wondering what's going on. So, all right. Here we go. Hard to see a little bit. It's okay. I'm just doing one handle. Each of these is curved. I'm grabbing that little ball at the end. All right. Make sure this isn't overlapped. Okay, and then we're going to do this part. We're gonna make sure, oh, that's weird. Okay, before we do anything, this is where it's nice to have the image on a separate sketch. That looks good, nothing weird. All right, so we're gonna do this part. The way they did it was you sketched it twice. We're just gonna do an offset, but you have to build it past. And we're gonna start at the bottom and then offset it up and then trim it. If you start at you'll see it won't work if you do it. We're gonna build past, so click over here, peek, double click, double click. All KU students will have good pen tool and spline skill sets. Make sure every sketch has a curve. Each spline. Okay, offset entities. This is what I was talking about. We're gonna make sure that it's offset up and it's 0.017. And then you can trim it. If it's not trimming later, it's because this is offset down. I don't know why. So we're gonna leave that. And then if you look here at the eye, we're gonna sketch this part in, and then this spline all the way to here, this spline here and up, and then we're at a circle that's bigger, and then we're going with power trim and clean this up. So we're gonna leave a gap here, click. We're not gonna go all the way down here, we're gonna leave a gap. Oh, escape, I forgot to double click. Escape. Old habits die hard. Okay, so then we're gonna make this look pretty. All right, got it. Okay, now we're gonna put the eyeball in. We're gonna just make sure it's not like this, but crossing over so we can trim. Okay, so now it's time for power trim. Make sure we're not doing construction geometry. We're just gonna trim this. So you're just, yes, it worked. Thank God it wasn't working. I made this video many times to get it right. So I'm just click dragging through the eye. So now I've got it closed. And then we're going to clean this up. Okay. Yes. Now let's hide. feature, extrude. There we go. Okay, so we are going to make sure you're on selected contours, and we're going to use the same sketch twice, so it's a little bit different. So we're going to do 0.15 here, and we just selected the inside of that. All right, and then select the sketch, extrude, and then we're going to do select the contours, and here, and we're going to do 0.2. Select it first. Good Lord. All right, and then there we go. And then you get whatever colors you want and turn it in.